What up, y'all? It's your boy, Prince Jonathan, coming to you again. Number 2. Oh man, today we're gonna be talking about consistency. Want to reiterate again, I'm on my walk this morning. Just got done with the gym, so that means I have 45 minutes of walking. And these are called thoughtful walks. These are speeches pretty much straight off the brain. Didn't really write anything down. I just take the idea, and I'm gonna give it to you. So today, we on consistency. My girl Regina called me out. She heard me in the last video talk about getting started, and she was like, yo, I can't wait to hear about consistency. And I was like, you know what? Perfect. Let's talk about it next, because that's something that's been on my brain, or my mind for a long time. It's consistency. Now, I've had an issue with consistency for a long time. Like, I start, stop, or I get real excited, do something, and I don't get the praise. Remember yesterday, that praise that I was talking about? I wanted the affirmation, but I wasn't doing the work. I would get on that track for a long time. And then I realized this morning when I was in the gym, actually, no, I'm sorry. I realized yesterday while I was at Domino's, I was driving, I was like, wait, I've been consistent all my life. The issue is I haven't been consistent in the right things. Now, disclaimer, consistency is not positive or negative. It's not positive or negative. It's whatever definition you place on it. So if you consistently sit on the couch, watch The Office season after season, and do the whole thing to the point where you've memorized all of Dwight's lines and all of Jim's pranks, then you consistently did that. Isn't positive or negative. Now, if you're like, yo, I want to be a bodybuilder, I want to be on the U.S. women's soccer team, and you're consistently watching The Office and memorizing all of Dwight's lines and all of Jim's pranks, doesn't seem like the consistency lines up with where you want to be. So that was a realization. I've been consistent all my life, but I've been consistent on the things that I want. So what does that mean? I came out to LA to be an actor, right? I had the chops, I'm funny, I'm good looking, how y'all doing? I can play now, ages 21 to 28. I can do that, right? But what was I not doing? Wasn't consistently working on my craft. I was more scared of finding a job. I always found a job, not an acting gig, but a job. Yeah, I was consistently working on the things that were not moving my acting career forward. I did do classes. I did do vocal lessons. But as my vocals coach said, yo, you have an amazing voice. You just don't practice. That's your problem. You have all this talent. You just don't practice. So how are you ever supposed to be anything? That hit me. And at the time, I was young. I was like, man, whatever, man. I don't really need this. I'm good. But now that I'm 31 years old, I realize, bruh, you ain't been putting in the work you wanted to put in. You've been afraid. And you've been consistently, yep, using that word again, consistently doing the opposite things that you want. So where does that show up? Look at the results. The results are, I worked in TV for 3 years. I worked as a valet for years. I worked as every job. I worked at UPS for a second. I consistently got the results that I was seeking because I was too afraid to go after where I was going, where I wanted to go. So now, what does that mean for me? My purpose in life is to entertain and inspire. Entertain and inspire. I have to consistently show up and entertain. Luckily for me, I have a little bit of talent in the I'm funny. I have a little bit of it. I have enough to speak. I have a drive to speak. But what do I need to do now? I have to work on the skills. And to work on the skills takes things like this. Every day, show up and speak. Show up and speak. I'm telling you, right now, I spoke it into existence that I was gonna do a 75 hard challenge for speaking. That means a speech every day for 75 straight days. And I'm guaranteeing there's gonna be a day where I have 2 of them because I want it to be that consistent. That way, when you look at my catalog, you see me and you go, JT, we want you to speak for us. We want you to speak at this company. I'm speaking into existence. We want you to speak to our team. You can look back and say, oh, he's put in work. And it's not gonna stop at 75. But that's a really good point. Now, let me say this. I get excited quickly. Like I already said, I get real excited. And sometimes I go real hard out the gate. I'm an achiever. I go real hard out the gate, but then I slow down towards the end. I know a lot of people like that. They get to the point where things start moving in their direction, and that's when they slow down. And if you're rational or have a logical mind, you're like, why are you doing that? You were so consistent, now you stopped. It has nothing to do with logical, because I know that person knows, and I've been a part of that. I know what I need to do and what I should be doing. We're about to talk about the should word in a second. What I should be doing. But there's a fear that comes in. And instead of leaning into the consistent patterns that you've had that have gotten you there and re-looking at everything and maybe finding out where you might need to adjust but continue on your path, you and I, we go to fear. We lean into fear. We lean into all the things that could go wrong, and we knock everything down. We're not done. How many people in your life do you know that you're like, man, you could be so far right now, but every time you get to it seems like you're right to blow up, you stop. Or you quit, or you just stop believing in yourself. Because your belief was only good enough for that small amount. So I'm challenging you to recognize that in your life and lean into your consistent habits. The ones that are pushing you forward. Don't lean into the couch. That's not a consistent habit that you need to be following. So I alluded to it. Should. Now, I noticed that the best way to explain how consistency really works is gym and athletics, right? So we all look at professional basketball players. No, we're gonna take it outside of athletics. I'm sorry, I'm gonna show you in my life and work. So I'm an auto broker, like I said yesterday. I sell cars for a living, and there are guys that have been there for like 4, 5, 7, 8 years. Also, on top of that, they were selling cars at different brands. So I come in, I've been there almost a year, July will be a year, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna sell 10 cars a month. Let's do it, this is easy. Oh really? Well, I should be doing it month 2. I should be doing at least 8, month 3. I should be doing this. Now, should is the enemy because you're fantasizing what's going on. I'm fantasizing how good I actually am when I have a whole lot to learn. Now, the guys that have been there for a while, for 3 years, 4, 5, 6 years, 8 years, 2 years at Mercedes, at Audi, all of them have experience on me. They know how to handle situations. They know how the market goes. And I'm coming in, trying to go hard in the paint and realize, guess what? It takes years. Guess what? It takes time to grow. And when I should all over myself, like I should be doing this, all I'm doing is knocking myself back. Because should is like a negative thing. It's like, you might as well just be saying, I'm not good enough right now to do that, but I'm trying. Stop. Get rid of should. Stop shoulding on yourself. Should makes me angry now. I used to say it all the time. I should be an actor. Oh, I should be a bodybuilder. Oh, I should. But were my consistent habits lining up with that? No, they weren't. Was I on it? No, I wasn't. So now I have something. I have a dream. And here's why I know where consistency really shows up for me and like how I'm blessed in this is because since the beginning of June, when I went through the Awaken training, shout out to the Gap, not the clothing store. I know some of y'all were like, it looked like that shirt is from Baby Gap. Stop hating, it's not. It's actually from, I think, Limited Apparel. Anyways, when I went through that, I realized, oh, the reason I wasn't consistent in the things that I wanted, yeah, I wanted to be, at one point, a pro cyclist. Because my heart wasn't truly in it. It was more about the accolades. It wasn't about the love of the sport. I wanted to play football when I was younger, but I didn't like the work aspect. Now I look at all the football players, I'm like, oh, y'all done put in work. I know what that feels like now. I lift weights, y'all lift people. It's about the consistent habits of doing and pushing forward. So I hammered that point. I wanted to say, like I said, this is a thoughtful walk. Everything's coming up straight out the brain. It's recognizing what you want to do in your life. What lights you up. Granted, you're gonna have to work a job. I've been working for over a year at Domino's Pizza. Yep, I was a delivery driver for a year. And you know what? That actually helped me in my consistent thinking, because every time I went on a drive, I was mad at myself. I was like, you should be speaking. You should be putting in the time. You should be this. You shouldn't be tired. Don't forget, shouldn't is just a piece of should. And I would get mad until I started to realize, use this time to think. Use this time to talk to yourself. You have a gift from God to speak and put it out there. Talk to yourself in the car. I would have 5 to 7 minute conversations, 3-minute conversations, sometimes it's 30 seconds drive, conversations with myself, because I knew I needed to hear it and I needed to get really, really consistent. I know I'm hammering this point. So what do? You're like, Jonathan, Prince Jonathan, what do I do to get consistent? You go back, you watch my other video. You start with where you're at. Start first with what you're doing and then map a plan. Maybe for me, as an achiever, I'm gonna use that same energy, but then I'm gonna be like, don't you dare drop it down, because I'm living in integrity now. Don't you dare drop it. And if you do, you say sorry, but we ain't trying to drop. What do? You map out what would be the most consistent movement. Maybe it's not daily. Maybe it's not. Don't go into the gym talking about, yeah, I wanna get fit, throw 315 on the bar, and you've never bench pressed in your entire life. Don't do that. Start small. I'm a fan of inching sometimes. Sometimes you need to inch. Martin Luther King even said it. Sometimes you need to crawl before you walk. Every step, the way you move, the way you walk 10 miles, the way a triathlon athlete gets a full marathon is, what do? One step at a time. So you find your one step and then you figure out a way to make it a repetitive motion. And then, which we're gonna talk about later, is commit. You need to commit, not to other people, you need to commit to yourself. You need to get real integral with yourself and what you want. So it may, for some people, be writing it down. It may be some people being quiet and be like, you know what? I'm gonna move in that space. Some of y'all that may need to lose weight, it may just be like, you know what? I'm gonna just get to the gym, 30 minutes, treadmill, fine. And then as things go, and you'll get to that point where it feels easy or it plateaus, that's when you need to switch it up. Consistency never dies. Like I said in the beginning, consistency's meaning is only attached to what you give it. So if you plateau at the gym or in life or at work, look at the blind spots. Maybe you're missing something because you've let the repetition get so ingrained that you don't really look around. You've let the repetition go. And I've done that in my life until I look up and go, oh man, I missed the turn back there. But it's okay. Get back to it. So I want to leave you with that message. Be consistent at your dream. If it doesn't make money, still go after it. Because you never know what opportunities are going to open up just because you've been repetitive. All right? Whew. Man, that felt good because I feel it in my spirit. I'm about to go. Watch out, y'all. I'm coming for it. I want to be so consistent. You see a catalog and you go, yep, he's the one to call. That's the boy to call. Don't call me a boy though. I'm a man. All right, y'all. Get out there, dominate your day, be consistent with the habits that move you forward, and stop using the word should. You're shoulding all over yourself. All right. Have a blessed day. It's been Prince Jonathan coming to you, and I'm about to get out there and dominate my day. Do the same.